Hello Wolfpack, we've got AVAX, Avalanche, which is the topic of our analysis today. AVAX has been trending for a couple of weeks now on social media, and I think one of the reasons of that would be that it's moved up quite significantly in terms of market cap, in terms of, against the rest of the market. It's been kind of up there with Solana and Luna in terms of the way it's moved in the last couple of weeks. As you can see here on CoinMarketCap, 250% up in the last 30 days compared to Luna, which is 138, and compared to Sol, which is 300. So it's just under Sol in terms of performance in the last 30 days, which is giving us kind of that confidence boost as AVAX investors. That boost we need to potentially get into the top 10. Obviously, the more hype a coin gets, the more likely it is going to have a breakout. But also the more kind of conservative you should be about buying into that coin, because at the end of the day, there will be coins on the ground that are better investments. Now, AVAX is a coin that we picked up in our Telegram group. If we start drawing some zones here on AVAX, we can bring up the volume profile, visible range volume profile. We can see that this $12 support zone actually acted as support throughout the entire lifespan of AVAX, which actually hasn't been very long. I think it came out in September last year. So Q3 last year, somewhere around that time period. We had this support box here in which we formed a double bottom at around $9, and we can draw that out quite nicely here in line with the volume profile. And we can see that this area has acted as support not only in that July and June correction, but also over here in January, we had a little base before making a move up, similar to the base we're actually forming here before making our move up in the coming weeks, in my opinion. So yeah, that was our support zone. We picked up AVAX at around $12 to $13, somewhere in that region. I can't quite remember. Regardless of the fact, we're up, quite extensively on AVAX, around 400%. So that's some good profits there for our Telegram group. Make sure to join that if you're not already part of it, if you want to. But if we bring up some other indicators on AVAX, just to get an idea of where we actually stand in the market, well, as you can see, we saw that double bottom and we started moving up straight away. For some reason, there's not really a specific reason for it, but AVAX just kind of caught the attention of the market, and I think that's because it was a very, very neat cup formation. As you can see, a massive rounding out to a very nice scale, and you see similar things like on Luna. If we actually bring up the Luna chart, we'll do it on CoinMarketCap quickly. Bring that up really quickly. We can see that if we bring to the all... Luna had a similar lovely and neat cup formation in which you just really can expect that volume to start coming in towards the end of it, and the price to start scooping up in form of a U shape. And we had that beautiful formation on AVAX as well. And I think people really like, I think it's the psychology of attractive charts that make people invest in it, and I think that's what we saw on AVAX. And I think what we can actually say here for AVAX as well, which is very interesting, is we can kind of say we've formed this cup and handle formation on AVAX, in which we've come up here and we formed the handle in this descending channel, and now we're seeing a breakout. Now, if we want to measure this move quite roughly on AVAX, if we just bring up the measurement tool, we'll measure it from the bottom here to the top of to the actual breakout area. So that would be about 38, and if we add 38 to here, we can get kind of a decent idea of where AVAX should be going. So add 38 there. Yeah, so just on this move, we should be heading to around 86 USD. If the cup and handle formation plays out correctly, that is how they usually play out. So 86 USD, we've got our eyes on 86 USD for AVAX due to that cup and handle formation. However, there are times in the markets where formations like that become kind of irrelevant as we look to see where our support MAs actually land on AVAX. We can bring up the 50-day SMA, the 200-day SMA, and a variety of shorter-term SMAs as well. We actually take those away quickly. So this is the 50-day SMA and 200-day SMA. The 50 is in red and the 200 is in green. We can see we just saw a bullish golden cross on AVAX, in which we kind of saw that breakout of the downwards channel, which was the handle formation. Now, if we look back in history on AVAX, we also saw, you'll notice before I said that this area here in January looks very similar to this area here. Well, we also saw that bullish golden cross formation in January as well before the move upwards. So if we wanted to, we could take some sort of fractal from that region. I'm not going to do that right now, but it could be something to look at. That would probably put us in the hundreds of dollars for AVAX, but that could be a bit optimistic here in the short term, because I think we do need to come back down and retest some some of these MAs here just briefly, potentially even, the top of this descending channel, where the cup and handle formation was. If we could just go back down for a scoop and then start heading up again, that could be in the charts as well. But overall, I still think the trend for AVAX is upwards. What we can look at actually is the all-time high on AVAX is around 63 USD. As you can see in this wick here on the 10th of February, we want to be seeing a daily close above that point. Yes, it would be normal for us to be rejected here and come back down to a retest of our handle formation. But realistically, what we do want to be seeing for the bullish case is flipping above it, coming back down and retesting that all-time high, and then heading upwards in line with the potential fractal from the January period that I just outlined over here. So we're looking bullish. I do think there are some corrections, that are yet to come. Particularly, I've got my eyes particularly on this all-time high at 63 USD. Whether we can close above that should be a telltale sign of whether we're going to be seeing a correction. As I said, if we close above it, we're good to go. Basically, we might just come back down and retest the 63 USD zone. If we don't close above it, I've got my eyes on the bottom of this descending channel here for the cup and handle formation. We could be seeing it around $50 to $45 briefly, and then as Bitcoin starts to pick up towards the end of the month, we'll probably be seeing a breakout of 63 USD once again. Regardless, the move is upwards. Now, looking at the weekly chart, we can get a bit of an idea of what we could be seeing for AVAX towards the end of the year or the end of the cycle. Now, obviously, this is a new coin. This is a coin that's only been in the market for since September last year, so just about a year, which is actually quite new in terms of asset classes in cryptocurrency. 1 year is not a very long time. It doesn't give us much data to work with. As you can see, only our 200-day SMA has only just started to form here on AVAX back in January down here, so that just gives you an idea of how new this chart actually is. On the weekly chart, we could be expecting something similar to this. Well, I'll tell you in a second. So we can see that this area of consolidation before the blow-off in the start of the bull market in February actually looks quite similar to this area here in May to July. And I know it doesn't look similar right now, but that's because the price is scaled down significantly. We've zoomed in, we can see it was kind of like a rounding out formation, similar to the U-shaped formation we saw here in July and May and June. So it actually is very similar, and that means that we can take a fractal from that region due to the fact that we also have a follow-up in the blow-off here just after the consolidation period that we've seen. So we could be taking a fractal to get a kind of idea of where we could be going. If we take that fractal right now, we can see that, and we try to scale it. It's not going to work perfectly. There are different time periods, but we can scale it back a little bit and get an idea of where we could be going on AVAX. That looks about right to me. Now, obviously, the time period, I'm not saying it's going to go up in, this weekly period, but, the time frame could be a bit off, but essentially fractals are not really time specific. They just give a kind of pattern and let you get a kind of presumption of what's going to happen in the future. Not necessarily has to be, according to the time exactly or according to the price exactly. It's just kind of basically a prediction, a rough estimate of what might happen. So we can see that this is going into 165 around that region, probably around 200 to 150 region. That move would be taking us there according to this fractal. And also if we apply my theory here, and I don't have a exact price prediction for AVAX because it hasn't been around long enough for me to actually gather the data from the charts, but what we can apply is the theory we apply to every single coin that I basically don't know where it's going to go, and that's the theory that I basically take the all-time high on Bitcoin currently, which is 64K. My prediction for Bitcoin at the end of the year, not at the end of the year, but at the end of the cycle, which should be in Q1, will be 120K to 150K. If I apply that move to AVAX, that should be around a 2x for Bitcoin and therefore a 3x to 4x for altcoins because of the fact that Bitcoin has diminished returns due to its high market cap. So 3x to 4x for AVAX from its all-time high puts it at around 190 USD to 220 USD. So that's a rough estimate. That's if AVAX performs with the market. If it underperforms the market, which is actually possible, I don't want you guys to get ahead of yourself. It could underperform the market. It has moved up substantially in the last couple of weeks. keep in mind, guys, that, this coin is not going to go up, forever. It's not going to be, well, I mean, it could be, but it's probably not going to be the outstander of the bull market. There are things called early movers and late movers. What's likely to happen on AVAX is it's going to have a lot of this bullish price action at the start of this run up and probably top out before most coins. It will start to drop, and then that is the period in which people are filtering their money into coins that are still on the ground. So AVAX, Luna, Solana, these are coins that have moved up very quickly towards the start of this run-up, towards the start of this altcoin season that's coming up in the next couple of months. And that means they'll probably be topping out first, and they'll probably won't have this sustained power throughout the whole time. Because remember, it's a cyclical flow. The money flows through altcoins. They don't just go all into AVAX, all into Luna in a consistent basis. No. It flows through the large caps into the mid caps into the small caps. It flows through from the first movers to the second movers to the third movers, and usually what you'll be seeing is dino coins like Bitcoin Cash and EOS are taking off towards the end of the bull market, and new coins like AVAX and Solana taking off towards the start of the bull market. I've been saying that for many months, and we're finally starting to see it play out. So that's reassuring, because what we want to see in investing and trading is those trends playing out over and over again, because that gives a predictability to the market for us to take advantage of and expose and ultimately make money. So if we look into the fundamentals briefly on AVAX, a lot of people don't really know what AVAX is. I'm not going to look too deeply into the fundamentals, but we can bring it up on CoinMarketCap here and get kind of an idea. I have some of the website information up as well. All you need to do if you want to know what a coin is, at a very, very base level, this is where you should be starting off, is go down to CoinMarketCap and read out the first couple of sentences. Then you can start working your way through the white paper if you're actually serious about it. But from CoinMarketCap, you can kind of get the idea, get the vibe of what the coin actually is. So we'll read it out. Avalanche, or AVAX, is an umbrella platform for launching decentralized finance, which is DeFi applications, financial assets, trading, and other services. It aims to be something of a global assets exchange, allowing anyone to launch or trade any form of asset and control it in a decentralized manner using smart contracts and other cutting-edge technologies. So you can see that CoinMarketCap usually gives a pretty vague description of what it is, but what we can kind of gather from this is that it's aiming to be, involved in most of the DeFi, space in which people launch their DeFi applications, launch their financial assets, and trading coins, whatever it might be. It aims to be that kind of go-to place, and that could be why it's called Avalanche. Actually, kind of the roll-on effect, that's taking over the DeFi industry. So as you can see, they're kind of advertising their eco-friendliness, which is also a big topic in cryptocurrency. One of the reasons they may have performed quite well this year, particularly because we had that whole drama with Elon Musk, removing Bitcoin as payments for Tesla for it not being, as eco-friendly as he would have desired. It's also cheap and fast, and that's another problem we've been having with Bitcoin before the Lightning Network, where people criticized it a lot for being too slow and too expensive. So AVAX is kind of aiming to solve all of these things as well. If we look at the roadmap, we can see that for Q3, which is this quarter, July to September, we've seen AVAX also releasing a Avalanche Bridge V1, which actually tells us here that it's 5 times cheaper than the previous Avalanche to Ethereum bridge. And Ethereum is notoriously very, very expensive. So kind of, even if it doesn't necessarily solve the problem, focusing on the thing that's on people's minds, which is Ethereum fees, naturally draws people in. We can also see some, improvements to the Avalanche wallet. We can see we've got some NFT marketplaces coming up at Avalanche as well. We've got some new exchange listings that have happened this quarter, and probably coming into the next quarter as well. You can read that for yourself. But the point is, and the point I want to get back to, is the fact that Avalanche is progressing. Avalanche is catching the attention of the market. The point is, we want to be looking at this $63 region in the short term, and we want to be looking at this $190 to $220 region in the long term. But we also want to keep in mind, guys, that this coin and the whole market and especially coins that are brand new, you're not going to have people that are loyal to the coin like you would with the Bitcoin Cash community, who are consistently buying. Avalanche is probably going to be one of those coins that goes, hard up and hard down as people flip their profits into other coins they want to see move. And that's due to the fact that there hasn't been that time period for people to build loyalty into the coin in the same way other coins have been. That's just kind of what we see on a general basis in, financial markets. You want people to build loyalty. Like, for example, Tesla, you have thousands of people who would buy Tesla at any price because they're completely loyal to Tesla, they're completely loyal to the company and to the cars, etc. That takes time to build. Tesla's been around for years. Avalanche has only been around for a year. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that this is a great opportunity for swing trading, but I don't think it's a great opportunity for holding as of current. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.